Ladies and gentlemen, today we confront a challenge that affects many of us in our journey to success and fulfillment: overthinking. Overthinking is a mental trap that can paralyze us, drain our energy, and divert us from our true path. To overcome this, we need practical strategies that empower us to regain control of our minds and focus on what truly matters. To address overthinking, it is crucial to first recognize that it is indeed a problem. Many individuals might dismiss their overthinking tendencies as mere distractions or fleeting concerns, but these patterns can significantly hinder personal progress and mental well-being. The act of acknowledging overthinking involves a candid self-assessment where you identify moments when your mind becomes consumed by excessive rumination. It's not just about realizing that you are overthinking, it's about understanding the impact it has on your daily life and overall emotional state. When you acknowledge the problem, you start to see how it affects your decision-making processes, your productivity, and even your relationships. Overthinking often leads to analysis paralysis, where you become so entangled in endless deliberations that it becomes challenging to take any meaningful action. By recognizing these signs early, you empower yourself to take proactive measures. This acknowledgement is the first step toward change, as it forces you to confront the mental habits that are holding you back and opens the door to exploring effective solutions. Accepting that overthinking is a barrier rather than a trivial issue allows you to prioritize addressing it and makes the process of overcoming it more manageable. To effectively combat overthinking, it's essential to identify what specifically triggers these patterns of excessive thought. This process involves a deep dive into understanding the various factors that lead your mind to spiral into overanalysis. Begin by observing the circumstances or situations that commonly set off your overthinking. Are there particular events, conversations, or stressors that ignite a cascade of anxious thoughts? Reflect on the moments when you find yourself trapped in a cycle of rumination. Perhaps it's a challenging work decision, an unresolved conflict, or even an upcoming deadline that seems to dominate your thoughts. Pay attention to these recurring themes or triggers, as they often provide valuable insights into the underlying causes of your overthinking. Additionally, consider internal triggers, such as specific fears or insecurities. Sometimes overthinking is fueled by deeper personal concerns, such as fear of failure, perfectionism, or self-doubt. By recognizing these internal triggers, you gain a better understanding of the emotional or psychological factors at play. Once you've identified these triggers, you can begin to address them more effectively. For instance, if a particular situation consistently leads to overthinking, you might develop strategies to manage or mitigate the impact of that situation. Similarly, if internal fears are the driving force, working on building self-confidence or challenging negative thought patterns can be beneficial. This awareness allows you to take targeted actions to reduce the likelihood of falling into the overthinking trap and helps you navigate these triggers with greater resilience. Setting clear goals is a fundamental strategy for overcoming overthinking, as it provides structure and direction to your thoughts and actions. When you establish specific, measurable, and attainable goals, you create a framework that helps focus your mind on what is truly important, reducing the tendency to become bogged down by endless deliberations. Begin by defining what you want to achieve in concrete terms. Vague objectives can lead to ambiguity, which often fuels overthinking. Instead, outline your goals with precision. For example, rather than saying, "I want to be successful," specify, "I want to complete my project by the end of the month." Or, "I aim to improve my presentation skills by attending a workshop next week." This clarity helps direct your mental energy towards actionable steps, rather than getting lost in abstract concepts. Once you have set your goals, break them down into smaller, manageable tasks. This process not only makes the goals seem less overwhelming, but also provides a clear pathway to follow. By focusing on completing these smaller tasks, you reduce the likelihood of becoming paralyzed by the enormity of the overall goal. Each completed task acts as a step forward, keeping your mind engaged and reducing the space available for overthinking. Additionally, regularly review and adjust your goals as needed. As circumstances change, being flexible with your goals allows you to adapt without losing focus. This ongoing assessment helps you stay aligned with your objectives and provides a sense of progress, which can counteract the tendency to dwell on potential pitfalls or uncertainties. In summary, clear goals act as a mental compass, guiding your focus and energy. They transform abstract desires into actionable steps, help you manage your tasks more effectively, and provide a structured approach to overcoming overthinking. By setting and pursuing these goals with intention, you create a pathway for progress and clarity, which minimizes the mental clutter that often leads to overanalysis. Practicing mindfulness is a powerful technique to counteract overthinking by bringing your awareness back to the present moment. This practice involves intentionally focusing on the here and now, rather than being consumed by past regrets or future anxieties. Mindfulness helps anchor your thoughts and reduces the tendency to get lost in excessive rumination. Start by incorporating mindfulness exercises into your daily routine. Simple practices such as deep breathing can help you center yourself. By taking slow, deliberate breaths, you shift your focus away from overwhelming thoughts and direct it towards the rhythm of your breath. This physical act of focusing on your breath helps calm your mind and breaks the cycle of overthinking. Another effective mindfulness practice is meditation. Setting aside a few minutes each day to sit quietly and observe your thoughts without judgment can foster a sense of inner peace. During meditation, you allow thoughts to come and go without getting entangled in them, creating a mental space where overthinking has less room to take hold. This practice can gradually train your mind to remain more present and less prone to excessive analysis. Mindfulness can also be practiced through mindful activities. Engaging fully in everyday tasks such as eating, walking, or listening while paying close attention to the sensory experiences involved helps anchor you in the present. For example, when eating, focus on the taste, texture, and aroma of your food rather than letting your mind wander. This level of presence helps reduce mental clutter and keeps you grounded. Additionally, practicing mindfulness involves recognizing when your mind starts to drift into overthinking. When you become aware of this tendency, gently bring your focus back to the present moment. This act of redirection helps you regain control over your thoughts and prevents them from spiraling into excessive analysis. Incorporating mindfulness into your daily life requires consistency and patience. Over time, the practice helps you develop a greater awareness of your thought patterns and emotional responses, enabling you to manage them more effectively. By grounding yourself in the present moment, you reduce the mental space available for overthinking and cultivate a clearer, more focused mind. Taking decisive action is crucial in overcoming overthinking because it breaks the cycle of hesitation and excessive analysis that often accompanies indecision. When faced with a decision or a task, the tendency to overthink can lead to procrastination and paralysis by analysis. By committing to decisive action, you transform your thoughts into tangible steps, thereby alleviating the mental burden of uncertainty. Start by making a clear, actionable decision rather than getting bogged down in weighing endless options. This involves evaluating the available choices, considering their potential outcomes, and selecting the most appropriate course of action. The key is to make a choice and commit to it with confidence. Even if you are not entirely certain, taking action propels you forward and diminishes the power of indecision. Once you've made a decision, take immediate steps towards implementing it. Breaking down the decision into smaller, actionable tasks can help you move forward without feeling overwhelmed. For example, if your decision is to start a new project, identify the initial steps required, such as drafting a plan, gathering resources, or setting deadlines. By tackling these tasks one at a time, you create a sense of momentum that combats overthinking. Decisive action also involves setting deadlines for your decisions and tasks. Deadlines create a sense of urgency and focus, reducing the time available for excessive contemplation. When you set a deadline, you establish a clear time frame within which you need to act, which helps you stay on track and avoid getting lost in prolonged deliberation. Additionally, embrace the concept of making decisions with the understanding that perfection is not always achievable. The fear of making mistakes can often lead to overthinking. Recognize that taking action, even if it's not perfect, provides valuable experience and learning opportunities. Mistakes and setbacks are part of the process and offer insights that can guide future decisions. Lastly, evaluate the results of your actions and adjust as necessary. Decisive action does not mean rigidly sticking to a course of action regardless of outcomes. Instead, it involves being open to feedback and making adjustments based on what you learn. This approach allows you to remain adaptable while maintaining forward momentum. By adopting a mindset of decisive action, you shift from a state of inaction and overthinking to one of purposeful movement and progress. This shift helps clear mental clutter, fosters a sense of accomplishment, and gradually reduces the tendency to overanalyze every decision or situation. Challenging negative thoughts is an essential strategy for overcoming overthinking, as it helps to disrupt the cycle of pessimism and self-doubt that often fuels excessive rumination. Negative thoughts can cloud your judgment and prevent you from taking constructive actions, leading to a cycle of overanalysis and inaction. By actively confronting and reframing these thoughts, you can shift your mindset toward a more positive and balanced perspective. Begin by identifying the negative thoughts that arise in your mind. These may be self-critical beliefs or doubts about your abilities and future. For instance, you might think, "I'll never be successful," or "I'm not good enough." Recognize these thoughts as they occur and take note of how they impact your feelings and behaviors. Awareness is the first step in challenging these harmful patterns. Once you have identified a negative thought, question its validity. Ask yourself whether this thought is based on facts or simply on assumptions or fears. For example, if you think, "I always fail," examine the evidence that supports or contradicts this belief. Reflect on past successes or instances where you overcame challenges. By assessing the evidence, you can gain a clearer perspective and challenge the accuracy of the negative thought. Replace negative thoughts with positive affirmations or rational counterpoints. For instance, if you catch yourself thinking, "I can't handle this," counter it with a more empowering statement such as, "I have faced challenges before and succeeded." Reframing negative thoughts in this way helps to shift your focus from limitations to possibilities, fostering a more optimistic outlook. Engage in cognitive restructuring techniques, which involve altering the way you interpret and respond to situations. Instead of viewing a setback as a personal failure, reframe it as a learning opportunity. This shift in perspective helps reduce the emotional impact of negative thoughts and encourages a more constructive approach to problem solving. Additionally, practice self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you encounter setbacks or difficulties. Recognize that negative thoughts are a natural part of the human experience and that making mistakes or facing challenges does not define your worth or potential. By practicing self-compassion, you create a supportive internal environment that counters self-criticism and encourages resilience. Regularly engaging in activities that boost your mood and self-esteem can also help diminish the impact of negative thoughts. Pursue hobbies, connect with supportive people, or engage in physical exercise, all of which contribute to a more positive mindset and can mitigate the influence of negative thinking patterns. By challenging negative thoughts, you disrupt the cycle of overthinking and replace it with a more balanced and positive perspective. This practice not only enhances your emotional well-being, but also empowers you to take more confident and decisive actions, ultimately reducing the impact of overthinking on your life. Limiting information intake is a crucial step in managing overthinking, as an overwhelming amount of information can lead to confusion and analysis paralysis. In today's digital age, where information is constantly streaming from multiple sources, it's easy to become inundated with data that complicates decision-making and fuels excessive rumination. By controlling the flow of information you consume, you can maintain clarity and focus, reducing the tendency to overthink. Start by identifying the sources of information that contribute to your overthinking. This could include news feeds, social media updates, or excessive research on a topic. Pay attention to how this influx of information impacts your mental state. For instance, if you find that checking news updates or scrolling through social media increases your anxiety or leads to obsessive thinking about current events, it's essential to recognize this as a contributing factor to your overthinking. Establish boundaries for how much information you consume and when. Set specific times for checking news or engaging with social media and stick to these limits. For example, you might decide to check your news feed only twice a day rather than continuously throughout the day. Creating these boundaries helps prevent constant exposure to new information, allowing you to focus on what's essential without getting caught in an endless cycle of updates. Be selective about the sources of information you engage with. Choose reliable, high-quality sources that provide clear and concise information rather than sources that present information in a sensationalized or overwhelming manner. This selectivity helps ensure that the information you consume is both relevant and useful, reducing the noise that can contribute to overthinking. Another effective strategy is to limit the scope of your research. When faced with a decision or task, identify the key pieces of information you need to make an informed choice and focus only on gathering that data. Avoid the temptation to dive deep into every possible detail or explore every potential option. By narrowing your focus, you can make more decisive and less overwhelming decisions. Consider using tools or techniques that help manage information overload. For example, you might use apps or features that limit screen time or filter content. These tools can help enforce your boundaries and prevent excessive information intake. Lastly, practice mindfulness and intentionality when consuming information. Approach each piece of information with purpose and attention rather than passively absorbing it. This mindful approach helps you stay focused on the most relevant information and reduces the likelihood of getting caught up in unnecessary details. By limiting information intake, you create a more controlled and manageable environment for your thoughts. This approach helps reduce the mental clutter that contributes to overthinking, allowing you to make clearer, more confident decisions and maintain a sense of focus and calm. Establishing a routine is a powerful method for combating overthinking by creating a structured framework that guides your daily activities and helps reduce the mental space available for excessive contemplation. A well-defined routine provides a sense of stability and predictability, which can be especially helpful in managing the mental clutter that often accompanies overthinking. Start by designing a daily routine that aligns with your goals and responsibilities. Begin with the basics, such as setting regular wake-up and sleep times, which help regulate your body's internal clock and improve overall well-being. Consistent sleep patterns contribute to mental clarity and reduce the likelihood of overthinking that can occur due to fatigue or irregular sleep. Incorporate specific time blocks for essential tasks and activities. Allocate dedicated periods for work, exercise, meals, and leisure. By segmenting your day into structured intervals, you create a clear roadmap for what needs to be accomplished, which helps minimize indecision and reduces the mental energy spent on planning and organizing. Include activities that promote productivity and personal growth. For example, set aside time for goal setting, skill development, or reflection. Engaging in these purposeful activities ensures that your routine is aligned with your aspirations and contributes to a sense of accomplishment. This focus on meaningful activities helps shift your attention away from overthinking and towards proactive steps that advance your objectives. Establishing a routine also involves creating rituals or habits that provide comfort and consistency. These can be simple practices such as morning meditation, journaling, or planning your day ahead. Rituals help create a sense of order and can serve as anchors throughout your day, providing stability and reducing the likelihood of becoming overwhelmed by unstructured thoughts. In addition to daily routines, consider implementing weekly or monthly planning sessions. Use these sessions to review your progress, set new goals, and adjust your routine as needed. This periodic evaluation helps maintain alignment with your long-term objectives and ensures that your routine remains relevant and effective in managing your overthinking tendencies. Flexibility is an important aspect of establishing a routine. While having a structured plan is beneficial, it's also essential to allow for adjustments when necessary. Life is unpredictable, and rigid adherence to a routine without room for flexibility can lead to additional stress. Embrace the ability to adapt your routine as needed, which helps maintain a balance between structure and spontaneity. Finally, monitor how your routine impacts your mental state over time. Reflect on whether it helps reduce overthinking and supports your overall well-being. If you find areas where the routine could be improved, make adjustments to better meet your needs and preferences. Continuously refining your routine ensures that it remains a positive and effective tool in managing overthinking and enhancing your daily life. By establishing a routine, you create a sense of order and predictability that helps focus your mind and reduces the space available for overthinking. This structured approach allows you to navigate daily tasks with greater ease and confidence, ultimately supporting a more balanced and productive mindset. Seeking support is a crucial strategy for managing overthinking, as it provides you with external perspectives and resources that can help alleviate the burden of excessive mental rumination. By reaching out to others, you can gain valuable insights, encouragement, and practical assistance that can significantly reduce the stress associated with overthinking. Start by identifying the types of support that may be most beneficial to you. This could include emotional support from friends and family, professional guidance from therapists or counselors, or practical assistance from colleagues or mentors. Understanding what type of support you need helps you seek the right resources and connect with individuals who can offer meaningful help. Begin by talking to trusted friends or family members about your struggles with overthinking. Sharing your thoughts and feelings with someone who listens empathetically can provide relief and help you feel less isolated. These conversations can offer new perspectives on your concerns and help you gain clarity on the issues that are causing you to overthink. Sometimes simply voicing your worries can make them seem less daunting and more manageable. Consider seeking professional support from a therapist or counselor if overthinking becomes overwhelming or persistent. Mental health professionals are trained to help individuals navigate complex thought patterns and provide strategies for managing anxiety and overthinking. Therapy can offer a safe space to explore the root causes of your overthinking, develop coping mechanisms, and work on changing unhelpful thought patterns. In addition to individual support, group therapy or support groups can also be valuable. These settings provide an opportunity to connect with others who may be experiencing similar challenges. Sharing experiences and learning from others in a supportive environment can foster a sense of community and reduce feelings of isolation. It can also provide practical advice and strategies from those who have faced similar issues. Don't overlook the value of seeking guidance from mentors or coaches, especially if your overthinking is related to specific goals or career decisions. Mentors can offer practical advice and help you navigate complex decisions by providing their expertise and experience. They can also help you set realistic goals and develop actionable plans, which can mitigate the tendency to overthink. It's also beneficial to engage in self-help resources such as books, online courses, or workshops focused on managing overthinking and building mental resilience. These resources can offer practical techniques and strategies that you can incorporate into your daily life. They can provide additional tools for managing stress and enhancing your ability to focus and make decisions. Finally, remember that seeking support is a proactive and strength-based approach. It demonstrates a willingness to address your challenges and take steps towards improving your mental well-being. Embracing the support available to you not only helps manage overthinking, but also fosters a sense of connection and empowerment. By actively seeking support, you gain access to a network of resources and perspectives that can help you navigate the complexities of overthinking. Whether through personal connections, professional guidance, or self-help tools, support provides essential assistance in reducing mental clutter and promoting a healthier, more balanced mindset. Embracing imperfection is a key strategy in overcoming overthinking, as it helps alleviate the pressure of striving for unattainable standards and fosters a more realistic and compassionate view of yourself. Often overthinking is driven by the desire to achieve perfection or fear of making mistakes, which can lead to a cycle of indecision and self-criticism. By accepting that imperfection is a natural part of the human experience, you can reduce stress and move forward with greater confidence. Begin by acknowledging that perfection is an unrealistic and often unattainable standard. Recognize that everyone, regardless of their skills or achievements, makes mistakes and has limitations. Understanding that imperfection is a universal aspect of life helps shift your perspective from seeking flawlessness to valuing progress and effort. This acceptance allows you to release the undue pressure that comes with the pursuit of perfection and reduces the mental strain associated with overthinking. Focus on the concept of good enough rather than striving for an unattainable ideal. Set realistic and achievable goals that reflect your current capabilities and resources. Instead of aiming for perfection in every task or project, aim to do your best within your current circumstances. This approach encourages you to take action and make decisions without being paralyzed by the fear of making mistakes or falling short of perfection. Cultivate self-compassion by treating yourself with kindness and understanding, especially when you encounter setbacks or make errors. Recognize that mistakes are opportunities for learning and growth rather than indications of failure. When you embrace imperfection, you allow yourself to be more forgiving and less critical of your own performance, which helps reduce the anxiety and self-doubt that contribute to overthinking. Reframe your perspective on failure and mistakes. Instead of viewing them as negative outcomes, see them as valuable experiences that provide insight and opportunities for improvement. Each mistake or imperfection is a stepping stone towards greater understanding and skill development. This shift in mindset helps you approach challenges with a sense of curiosity and resilience rather than fear and hesitation. Practice letting go of excessive control and rigidity in your expectations. Allow yourself the freedom to explore, experiment, and make adjustments along the way. Recognize that not every outcome needs to be perfect, and that flexibility and adaptability are often more valuable than strict adherence to a rigid standard. This openness to imperfection helps reduce the mental burden of trying to control every detail and fosters a more balanced approach to problem solving. Embracing imperfection also involves celebrating your achievements and progress, no matter how small. Acknowledge and appreciate the effort you put into your work and the strides you make towards your goals. By recognizing and celebrating your accomplishments, you reinforce a positive mindset and reduce the tendency to focus on perceived shortcomings or failures. Incorporate practices that promote mindfulness and self-acceptance into your daily routine. Engage in activities that help you stay grounded in the present moment and foster a positive self-image. Mindfulness practices can help you become more aware of your thought patterns and gently guide you towards accepting yourself as you are, imperfections and all. By embracing imperfection, you free yourself from the constraints of perfectionism and create space for personal growth, resilience, and self-compassion. This approach helps alleviate the mental clutter that fuels overthinking and empowers you to move forward with confidence and a more balanced perspective. In conclusion, overcoming overthinking is a journey that requires intentionality and effort, but it is entirely achievable with the right strategies. By acknowledging the problem and understanding how overthinking impacts your life, you set the stage for positive change. Identifying your triggers helps you recognize the patterns that lead to excessive rumination, allowing you to address them more effectively. Setting clear goals provides direction and purpose, transforming your thoughts into actionable steps that move you forward. Practicing mindfulness keeps you grounded in the present moment, reducing the mental clutter that fuels overthinking. And finally, taking decisive action breaks the cycle of indecision, empowering you to make choices with confidence and clarity. Remember, the path to overcoming overthinking involves embracing imperfection, seeking support, and maintaining a balanced perspective. By implementing these strategies, you can reduce the mental noise that holds you back and create a more focused, productive, and fulfilling life. It's not about eliminating overthinking entirely, but rather managing it in a way that allows you to thrive and achieve your goals. Embrace the journey, be patient with yourself, and recognize that progress is a continuous process. With each step forward, you build resilience and gain control over your thoughts, paving the way for a more empowered and purposeful life.